and let us prepare your ride for whatever the season brings. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart, we keep America rolling.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Now, here's a look at the weather. Chance of seeing a few isolated showers or storms. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the mid to upper 80s. A few scattered showers or storms tonight, and overnight low will drop down into the middle 60s. Saturday, some scattered showers and thunderstorms are high on Saturday in the middle 80s, partly sunny mid 80s on Sunday, and then Monday a few hit or miss showers possible, a high right around 85 degrees. I'm meteorologist Sally Russell on Bigfoot Country.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Just hit the ball hard. Doesn't really matter where it ends up. It's cool when it ends up over the fence.
Everything's still pretty much the same round.
He's on his way to the plate. Cut off throw. Sliding in. He's out. Hawks need a review. They're going to ask for a review. This was awfully close. Gackle strikes out Chapman looking to end the 5th inning. The umpire right in front of him had immediately signaled he made the catch. And then there was the confusion. 1-3 put out ends the 9th inning. Arkansas did not request a review, so that's it.
We left a lot of runners out there. That probably was the difference in the game early. But you can't pitch like that. You can't pitch behind in the count against a good hitting team.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
I swear it was like
He is back. He's just currently not in the studio this morning. Colton, I promise he's here. I guess you've seen him this morning.
We made contact.
Yeah. Fastball Friday brought to you by QC Kinetix. Unfortunately, the Razorbacks fall in game number 1, 10-7 to the Tennessee Volunteers. And Tony Vitello, who gets only his second win against Dave Van Horn in the rivalry between them two. Arkansas had their chances last night. 15 hits, left a ton of guys on, but not the way you wanted game 1 to end in Baum-Walker Stadium. You're taking on their ace tonight, Liam Doyle. There's some other aspects of this team that you're hoping they'll figure it out as they head into game number 2. Glad you're back, though.
I am glad to be back.
You always deal with the firestorm after coming back for a couple days of some sort, some nature.
Yeah, it's usually the way it is. Hey, QC Kinetix. You mentioned it's a Fastball Friday. It'll be a Fastball Friday night at Baum-Walker. Call our friends at QC Kinetix if it was a little slow roll out of bed this morning, a little pain in your knee, your back, your hip, your shoulder. You know where it hurts. If ibuprofen's part of the daily regimen, it is time to call QC Kinetix. Arthritis pain, maybe in your digits and your hands that keep you from doing what you love, tennis elbow, you name it. They can help relieve that pain with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. 479-999-1234 is their number. 999-1234 for QC Kinetix.
So how many of Morgan Wallen's new songs have you listened to on his album that came out last night? 2?
Who's Morgan Wallen?
I'm on 22. I don't know if you. I don't know.
You've listened to 22
as of this morning. Yeah.
Ty, how can he make 37 songs on one album?
36. But it's
are any of them good?
There's only.
I like Morgan Wallen. He's all right. I mean, he's good. I don't have him like top shelf in the middle like you do.
Yeah.
You think he is the second coming, but I don't quite go that far.
I love it.
He's not George Strait.
Well,
he's not Garth
here's
Brooks.
what's disappointing. So the baseball team lost, the Oklahoma City Thunder lost, and I'm 22 songs in, and I don't love any of the first 22 songs I've heard. So with the exception of maybe the one that was in open this morning.
There's how many on this album?
36.
Well, then you know it's not going to be any good.
At least you're back. At least I have this light back in my life. Did you play four rounds?
3 rounds.
You also played on Monday.
I got to go to Prairie Dunes. So I played Monday in the Mercy Birdies for Babies. By the way, we won.
What'd y'all win?
I don't know yet because I had to leave. I got the opportunity to go play at Prairie Dunes in Hutchinson, Kansas, and I'm telling you, I've played a lot of fine golf courses. That is the most difficult golf course I've ever played in my life. Every green is like an upside down saucer.
That doesn't sound.
You can hit it in the middle of the green, it goes off. I mean, it was.
So you almost have to hit it on the rough before you hit it. That's what I guess. I guess is Quail Hollow more difficult?
I don't know.
There's no one.
It's raining there. Their greens are going to be difficult because they're going to be soft around the green. They're going to dry out the greens with their sub air systems. But anyway. I'm glad to be back because I got mentally just abused the last 3 days by that golf course.
Well, the good thing is you played 4 rounds this week, 3 at Prairie Dunes and once at Hardscrabble.
Yeah.
I've already got 3 scheduled for next week.
Well, good for you.
It's great. So
Alabama.
Alabama.
You're going to be in Birmingham, right?
Yeah.
We got work to do all day.
Yeah. Well,
pre-game shows, post-game shows. Got to be there to take notes during the game.
It's a combination. Work, play. It goes hand in hand.
Got a show from 9 to 11.
It goes hand in hand.
Hogs are going to play right after that probably.
Well, they're not going to play with last night's loss in Tennessee, unfortunately, or Texas, unfortunately, clinching. They will, unless they somehow drop to 4th place and drop below the Georgia Bulldogs and the LSU Tigers, which theoretically still could happen if they get swept. They're going to play on Friday. So that's the setup for next weekend. They'll be either that 3 o'clock game.
So we don't need to send you to Wednesday then.
Well, I've already got plans. There's it's this, it's
Colton,
that.
do you care about his plans?
It's that. I mean, there's just a lot.
His plans directly impact my plans. So I need him to let me know what he's doing.
Yeah, something's gone. We don't want anything to go wrong. So what went wrong last night? Just the guys they left on base?
I'll tell you later what your plans are, all right? So they need to plan to not leave the bases juiced in the 7th. Now, they answered back in the 8th, but they couldn't stop the home runs. To me, the game last night was about 2 things. 12 stranded runners, which, by the way, Tennessee had 11, and then the home runs. I mean, they just got pelted. It was a home run show last night.
Yeah.
Zach Root didn't have his best stuff, but he was good enough.
Here's what DVH said.
His stuff was pretty good. He just didn't locate it like normal.
Yeah, you mentioned
good, not great.
The leaving guys on those kind of what stood out to a lot of people.
I know we left 12 on for the game, something like that, but it was early in the game. We had to score some runs. We left a lot of runners out there. We put together some innings, whether it was hits or a base on ball. I think we had hit by pitch. Leadoff guys on, second base no out, whatever the case may be. We didn't get him in. Give him credit for wiggling out of some jams, and that probably was the difference in the game early. We should have added on to that 2-1 lead. They did a nice job getting that relay throw to the plate, to keep it from being 3-1 with Aloy coming up. And, that's the way the game works sometimes.
So you feel confident that they'll rebound tonight against the best pitcher in the Southeastern Conference and Liam Doyle?
I mean, you were in here just throwing a fit before the show. If they don't win tonight, that's 5 or 6 series. My God, and I hear you. That's not an opinion; it's a fact. But I also know this: if they win one, it was Colton stuck his hand. Is he okay?
I did stop the editing. I did stop the editing to make sure that things were good.
Get the man some.
Do I need to warm a bottle for him? I mean, what's going on in here?
I'd love.
I had practice at that.
You need to be burped.
I got my hot coffee right here.
And you're right. They will have lost, but still doesn't make me believe they're any further away from Omaha. Maybe that's Razorback rose-colored glasses I've got on, but they have not been outclassed. How many series have they been outclassed?
I mean, they got their ass beaten in Baton Rouge.
One game.
Yeah.
One game. The only time. How many times have they been run ruled this year? Once.
One or two. Just that once.
How many times have they run ruled somebody?
A lot. They still have I was reading, I think it was Matt Jones that wrote, I think they still have the highest run differential, I believe, in college baseball. So, yeah, there's a a lot of good aspects still about this baseball team, but
I'm not ready to sit here and say, well, they won't make Omaha because they lost 5 of 6 series. I don't feel that way at all.
So how do you feel?
Well, I mean, I still feel like this team has a chance, like a lot of other teams we've seen out of this league, to catch fire at the right time and win the whole thing. I don't believe for a second they're not good enough. Now, you could put about 6 or 8 other teams that you've played over the last 6 or 8 weekends in that same list, right? Can you believe Tennessee, even though who's been sliding further and faster, Arkansas or Tennessee as of late?
Yeah, Tennessee's lost 4 straight.
They haven't been. But did you see a team last night that? Well, they don't look like they could go to Omaha. They couldn't win national. Nope, I didn't see that. There's Georgia, or I mean, you can go down. You can go get past Texas, Arkansas, LSU, Georgia, the top of the league. Those are obvious answers. The middle of it, you think Vanderbilt and Florida aren't dangerous teams right now? How about Auburn? That's a team you hadn't even played. So I mean, this league is littered with teams that have a chance to be in that best of 3 and win it.
All right. So
Arkansas's amongst that group.
What are your thoughts on Arkansas baseball? We'll continue on throughout the morning, the next hour and 50 minutes or so. We do need to talk about some important basketball news that came out yesterday.
All right.
J.J. Andrews committed to Arkansas, Sean Andrews' son, and that is your opening drive.
I've been dreaming about this since day one, just following my own legacy. That's what he always tells me. So it's great to be able to be a Hawk. I got that little Razorback costume one Christmas. I was set. I've had great family like Dusty Hannes. He's came through as a Hog as well. So it's definitely a great experience. Coach Cal does very professional things. He'll have us prepared for any game, I feel like. So I feel like he does a great job at treating us as professionals, but also taking care of us as well.
This is the opening drive.
Good audio there from the Pig Trail Nation talking with him as he commits yesterday following just that ceremony and everything, unveiled that he was wearing an Arkansas shirt. I still like the old-fashioned commitment ceremonies that we saw like yesterday, but this is a big deal. 4 or 5-star kid, depending on when you look at it. JJ's like 6'7", 6'8", lefty. I mean, Matt's talked about it, Tommy. Sean could ball back in the day, too, so evidently his son elected to play basketball over football, and it's paying off for him thus far. But this was a kid that was deciding between the Razorbacks, LSU, and Missouri, and staying home. Yeah. It's always a good thing when you get a kid to stay home here in Arkansas.
Sounds like listening to him there, he was wasting LSU and Missouri's time, right? As Arkansas along, I remember getting that. What do you say? He didn't say costume, but he got his first Razorback, outfit or whatever as a kid. So I never thought there was really much doubt on where he was going to go because that's where Dad went. You want to follow in the big man's footsteps. So I never had much doubt, just without knowing anything, that this is where he was going to go.
It was kind of weird. There were some reports leading up to it from some credible basketball people like Eric Bosse, who felt like that he was going to end up being a Missouri Tiger, and apparently something happened in the last 24 to 48 hours that changed. I don't know if that's factual or not. Just it's kind of what's being reported and tossed out there. So you felt, at least from what I read, I was like, okay, this might not go our way. And then yesterday, again, he's not signed, but he is committed. So it's a good start for this Arkansas basketball team and everything else.
So now let the bidding really begin.
Yes.
Right?
And so you've had some news happen since you've been golfing. Boogie Flan is no longer in the NBA Combine. We had a chance to catch up with Isaac Trotter of 24/7 Sports and CBS Sports. And for the first time publicly, Adu Thero addressed the possibility of coming back. And I'm paraphrasing what Adu said, but it's like it's not all the way shut. It's a little open, but it sounds like he's pretty steadfast and pretty honest about staying in the draft process. Carter still don't know there, but those are kind of some things that have happened this week when it comes to Arkansas basketball and the Combine in Chicago.
Amazing how a $20 million revenue sharing plan and your little piece of that can make you think twice, right? Yeah, NBA, got to see where we go through the draft. Got to go through the draft process. No guarantees, or go back to college and be guaranteed 7 figures. Because I'd say both of those guys are $1 million plus, wouldn't you? I don't know if the reports with Boogie about being multiple millions is all there, but I mean, there's something to that. But Florida's still I said this a few weeks ago. If Florida's really going to pay him that kind of money, why hadn't that deal already been done?
I think
that's a better deal than the NBA year one.
I think the intriguing thing about we've often talked about Arkansas's facilities, and you talk to former Razorbacks that have gone on to the minor leagues, and It's like, yeah, Arkansas's facilities are way better than what I'm dealing with right now. And you're in that situation where some people would still move on because they were making money. Well, now, not just the MLB and college baseball comparison, but now in the NBA, I can't sit here and tell you about every G League facility across our country, but I can say when you talk to I don't want to get into that, but you can. I mean, you can talk to some former Razorbacks, and it's like, hey, what would you rather be doing? Playing for a G League where maybe 3,000 people show up and watch you play, and you're still making the same amount of money, or playing college where you're one of the main dogs on campus, you're making good money. Yes, you might have to deal with some class stuff, but I think a lot of kids will say, I kind of want to stay in college. So that's going to continue to happen. We'll see what ultimately happens with Carter and Boogie, and also Adu Thero in this process.
All right, that's your opening drive. It's brought to you by our friends at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. If you're thinking about sprucing up your home, maybe doing a little remodeling, new carpet, new flooring, maybe just a fresh coat of paint, and you want a line of credit maybe to get that done, or figure out the financing options that are best for you. Or maybe you're in you got a growing family and you're thinking about building a brand new home, your dream home, your forever home. Farm Credit can walk you through all of the options to make it the right setup for you. Stop by any of their 25 locations around our listing areas today and see the experts at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas, or go to myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com for Farm Credit of Western Arkansas.
All right, so our buddy Sean from the Fence Man's here. Sean, before we get into our picks, I have an important question to ask here on National Mimosa Day. You have your choice between a mimosa, a screwdriver, or a Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary. Tommy?
No, screwdriver. That's easy.
Okay. I would also say screwdriver. I've
never gained I know a lot of people that drink Bloody Marys and start their, usually the hair of the dog starts there the next morning.
Jeez.
But I have never, and I like tomatoes. I'm not a big tomato juice drink. I don't know. Maybe I just hadn't had a good one. Sean.
Have you had one of those big fancy ones that have like fried chicken and bacon and all that other extravagant stuff on top of it?
Yes.
Does that make it better, or is it just kind of the same?
It gives it a lot of extra flair.
Okay.
But if you're after the enjoyment of the drink, I don't think it really adds much to the drink.
Does it?
But
it does to the price, though.
It does add to the price, that's for sure.
How'd you like to have a $40 Bloody Mary for breakfast?
Yeah, well, as long as it's your entire breakfast.
Yeah. That's fine. Cody Levakis texted in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline saying Bloody Marys taste like spaghetti. I will say,
I like spaghetti, and I've never tasted a Bloody Mary that made me think it was spaghetti.
I've had a lot of my friends get that first thing. I'll tell you what I do, and this is not like at a restaurant before we get to our picks. So I'll do and I forget what it's called. It's not a beer mosa, but I'll do beer and OJ, and it's good.
Really?
It's very
Never
good.
have my birthday.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Okay.
Put your favorite light beer, and in my case, a Michelob Ultra and an OJ, and it is in the morning. Don't do that at night, but in the morning it's good.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, just don't.
Our Bloody Mary deal. That's our lake tradition. Our whole group. That's what we have for breakfast.
Okay.
Bacon and eggs, Bloody Marys. And
beautiful
now
Lake
we're
Ouachita in the background.
I know I'm in the minority on that because I see what everybody else does.
We need that liquid courage to attempt to drown the kids.
Well, let's talk.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Let's talk.
100%.
Let's talk some picks.
People like Ty. Yeah, I get you.
That's part of it. Let's talk some picks. Last regular season weekend for SEC baseball. Arkansas still 2 games remaining on their schedule before they head to Hoover next week. What's going to happen? First, let's hear what we did last week. Do we see a baseball game in Alex Box Stadium later on today of any sort?
No.
I'm going to say no.
I doubt it.
Okay, so when they do play, what happens this weekend, Tommy, between LSU and Arkansas?
LSU wins 2 of 3.
John, unfortunately, I'm going to agree with Tommy on this one.
I say the Hogs will probably they won't take the first game, but in the doubleheader, they'll take the second and third, and they'll win the series.
Commodores travel to the Lindsey Nelson the Balls. Tommy, what happens Tennessee this weekend against Vanderbilt?
Tennessee wins the Volunteer State Series.
Tony Vitello does not get ejected, and he sticks around, and they win the series, Sean, in my opinion, too.
I'm a Vols fan, so yep, go Vols.
Ole Miss and Mississippi State.
Mississippi State wins 2 of 3.
I've got State winning as well.
I'm going to go opposite of you guys just to be opposite.
Well, they did get a game at 9:57 right before 10 o'clock. That was as late a baseball game as Arkansas's played since the SEC
Should
tournament.
asked if it was going to finish today.
Yeah.
That would have been a better question.
The SEC tournament, I think they played Florida until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was back in 2015. So these games have already been played. game 1. So just give you a background. Texas A&M got clobbered by Georgia. Georgia's got that game 1. Georgia right behind the Razorbacks in the standings, as is LSU. So you're keeping an eye on that series just for seeding next week. Sean, what happens in Athens these next 2 games with Georgia having a 1-0 lead in the series?
Well, you guys know my wife was Texas A&M Aggie, and as much as I want to vote for my Aggies, man, I think they're falling from glory even harder. So I think they're going to get swept.
I also think Georgia is going to ultimately go on to sweep this series. Texas A&M preseason number 1, probably first team in 35 years not to make the NCAA tournament. Tommy, what happens?
Apparently, they read that book down there.
You're going to have to give me some background on that.
How to Win the Big Game by R.C. Slocum. I mean, they apparently have read that game. We need A&M to win, right? If you're a Razorback fan, you really need to root for A&M.
No, you're right.
I mean, that's what helps
100%
our cause here. But I'm with Sean. Georgia sweeps the series. A&M's done.
South Carolina got a big win yesterday against the LSU Tigers in Columbia. That's kind of another series you're rooting for the team that's going against LSU. I think South Carolina splits these next 2 and they go on to win the series, Tommy.
I was scrolling through here. I couldn't get past what Mississippi State did in Missouri last night. LSU wins the last 2. Yeah.
Okay, so you got LSU advancing. Sean, what happens in Columbia these next 2 games between the Tigers and the Gamecocks?
I want South Carolina to beat LSU.
Too.
So I'm going to go with South Carolina.
There you go.
Again, that helps the Hogs, right?
It does,
Yeah.
100%.
That's what we need.
1,000%.
Unfortunately, Texas has clinched the SEC regular season title. Oklahoma dropped to them last night. Still a chance for the Sooners to come back and win the series. Tommy, what happens in the Red River rivalry here in baseball between the Sooners with Texas up 1 game?
Split the last 2. Texas wins the series.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. I think Texas wins. I think Oklahoma wins today and Texas wins tomorrow, Sean.
Nope. I think Texas is going to sweep the whole series.
Sweep the whole series. All right. Games we're obviously concerned with and focusing on next 2 days. You've got 7 o'clock tonight. Hold on. I lied. 6:30 tonight, 2 o'clock tomorrow. Tommy, what happens in this series between Arkansas and Tennessee?
I think I'm going to follow the recent trends. They split the next 2, and Tennessee takes the series. Rubber match on Sunday determines. Arkansas wins tonight.
That Doyle kid, I know he's pitched a lot lately. I think it's going to be a similar situation to what we saw in Baton Rouge, where Arkansas doesn't necessarily get clobbered tonight here in Bob Walker, but they lose tonight and they find a way to win Game 3. Sound downtrodden this morning, but I don't know how I feel about that, Sean.
Well, they're putting their number 1 pitcher out tonight, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm afraid our Hogs are not going to. We can't seem to find the ball when we bat, and then our pitching doesn't seem to be as sharp as it was. So I want my Hogs to win, but I think I'm like you guys. I think Tennessee's going to take the first 2. We probably win the last one. I'm like you.
Well, let's hope, Tommy, you're right. I mean, I want you to be right in this situation, but we'll see what happens in these next 2 games.
Rise to the occasion. Hey, if you're needing a new fence or maybe some more security or curb appeal, Sean, you've got the custom solution for anyone needing a fence or powered automatic gates.
Yes, we're actually getting into something that's new, some aluminum fencing. When we say aluminum fencing, everybody thinks like aluminum, wrought iron or something like it, but actually we can get you aluminum privacy fence, going around your trash cans. You want to hide them, man, we've got some multiple colors, some beautiful designs. Hide your trash cans, hide your HVACs. We're trying to get into the new stuff.
Now that you get a custom quote, no charge for a quote. Sean or someone from the team will be out to see you soon. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Have a great weekend. We'll see you for the SEC tournament next week.
You'll have to call me in. I'll be at the lake.
All right.
Through kicks and deals, he struck him out swinging.
This is Fastball Friday on the Morning Rush. Presented by QC Kinetix. Get real lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
Since 2009, the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery has provided more than $1 billion in scholarships to thousands of Arkansans just like you. So thanks a billion, Arkansas. If you'd like to apply for the scholarship, simply go to sams.adhe.edu and fill out the information. And just like that, you're applied. The deadline's coming up, so don't forget. Apply now at sams.adhe.edu.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
It's great to be able to be a hog.
This is the Morning Rush. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
The Golf Nut is thrilled to introduce new products for 2025, including Cobra Dark Speed Adapt Woods and Irons, Ping G440 Woods and Irons, and TaylorMade QI35 Woods. Lap putters, including the latest OZ model, are also available. Whether you want to improve your swing or enjoy the game, the Golf Nut offers a range of options. Book a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators and experience golfing greatness. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue for your ultimate golfing destination.
Attention business owners, are you overpaying for your website, dropping thousands up front and shelling out more than $95 a month? Stop the madness! With Modular Orange, you get a custom-built, fully managed website for just $95 a month. No hidden fees, no headaches. They write it, build it, launch it, update it, and secure it so you can focus on your business. Ditch the overpriced hassle and go simple. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
At Evans Body Shop, we take pride in delivering exceptional customer service to our customers. Here's what some of them have to say.
It was the kindness that got me. Then I witnessed their work.
And their customer service was just exceptional.
They are so kind and understanding, and they let you feel like you don't need to worry about anything, especially dealing with the insurance company. That was great. And the repair work was tremendous.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those. This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Snead throws 1-2. Down the line, it's a squibber in front of the plate. It'll be a tough play. Snead barehands it, throws. Davalon's out, and the game's over. 1-3 put out ends the ninth inning. Arkansas does not request a review, so that's it. 1 run, 2 hits in the ninth, and the Hogs leave their 13th runner on base. Tennessee wins it by a 10-7 final score.
You heard Phil there. It's really the story of the night. You got 2 guys on. It's 10-7. The chance to possibly go on and win this or tie this thing, and just 13th guy that they left on base last night.
Did someone explain to me what the heck really happened there in the 8th inning on the out call on the ball hit to shortstop? Jeff had the second base umpire calls him out on a ball that fell that really it probably benefited Arkansas because you'd have probably gotten doubled up. But that was a strange and bizarre situation.
You want to hear? Let's just hear Dave. He can explain it better.
Can't challenge it. I mean, that's the luck of the game. If that ball's 10 foot either way, the game would have got really interesting. We still ended up scoring 3 runs, but that'd have been 3 in a row on base, rolling with some guys, and it was a strange play. And I think they were supposed to appeal. They ended up throwing a ball, and they were supposed to step off. I don't know. The umpires told me that he was told they were going to appeal, and then they pitched. You can't even look at it. It's just he's either safe or out. I think you can look at it with 2 outs. There were no outs at the time.
And you can't challenge it. So
what'd you think?
I didn't think he was out. I don't know how you call that out. He didn't even have it a full second.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Baseball's got more rules than any other sport, but that just seemed like, I don't know why there was such a...
Des held the ball longer than he did.
He may be right about that. That seemed like an easy no-catch call to me.
Yeah, I mean, it was wacky.
The stretch by Snead with a 2-2 pitch. Davalon rifles it at shortstop. Caught by Keelan. He dropped it now. They still get an out. We got confusion. Justin Thomas is off at first base. The ball's thrown away past first base. Now heading for third base is Robinette, and Thomas is at second. A lot of confusion. The thought was Keelan caught the ball and then dropped it. The umpire right in front of him had immediately signaled he made the catch. And then there was the confusion. Robinette got back to second base, figuring Keelan caught it and he might get doubled off. Thomas, he was close to being doubled off at first. Lucky for Justin that the throw was wild, and the Hogs get an extra base for both of them. Now Tony Vitello talking with the plate umpire, Eddie Newsom, and they can't change anything about this.
It's weird.
How would you go back and how would you put it back? Because if it's not called an out and the ball drops to the ground, and then the throwaway happens because you're sped up, then it gets really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, I thought that was that's baseball. Go to the ballpark, you may see something you've never seen before each and every day.
You saw it last night if you went to Baum-Walker Stadium. Other things to get to in your Hog Update. Listen to this, Tommy. The Omni La Costa Resort and Spas Champions Course is the host of the NCAA Golf Championships, where the women are going to be this weekend. It's going to be on NBC if you want a chance to watch it, which is cool. So again, you got the number. We hadn't discussed this enough. What Shauna Taylor and her team have done. You got the second best golf team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in the national championships. We know we've talked a lot about softball. Courtney Dival's squad is in town this weekend at Bogle Park. They'll play at 5:30 later on against St. Louis. The Oklahoma State and Indiana game will be before that. You got graduations, you got that. So there's a lot going on here in Fayetteville on campus at the University of Arkansas.
Yeah, man. I'll probably check some of that golf out this weekend. Just Just because they've been close before, hopefully they can seal the deal. It's kind of like softball.
With the PGA Championship as well, which
Yep.
we'll get to. All right, that is your hog
A lot of
update
rain there.
this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, so we were talking about it's National Mimosa Day with Sean. It's also, Tommy, it's National Barbecue Day. And I know you like to barbecue. I know how I have a grill.
We talking about barbecuing, or are we talking about what do we mean?
It's just national.
Tell me what you mean by barbecuing.
I feel like it, like going.
No
to
one says I'm going to go out
burger.
back and barbecue.
Well,
I eat barbecue.
There is barbecue.
I don't
but
barbecue.
Well, you like burgers and stuff. I feel like are in that same line of thinking.
That's grilling.
But it has pictures. Like people say, I'm going to go out
Oh, it has
for the
pictures.
barbecue.
Oh,
well, like you bring burgers and stuff to a barbecue. Larry, can you clarify this? Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources. Like there are burgers and hot dogs allowed at a barbecue, right? I'm not off. am I?
You know, yeah, I guess it's kind of an old school thing, but
Yeah.
barbecue,
Oh,
yeah, that could
You're coming to barbecue.
encompass just anything happening in the backyard with some fire. You know,
Right? I don't know
You're
why.
either grilling or you're smoking. You know.
But it's like if you a
Well,
family
if you're
barbecue.
really
right?
serious about that stuff, Tommy.
Well, I mean, let's get the verbiage right. You know.
God,
I know.
it's supposed to
I'm
animate
with
it. He's
you,
been in
man.
30 minutes. I was ticked off about the baseball team losing. All I have to do is bring up food, and you get hot this morning.
Well, I'm not.
I should have brought it up earlier.
Let's just get it right.
I should have brought it up earlier.
I know you're a stickler for getting the English language correct.
Right, you know me. Well, there's going to be plenty of barbecues for Memorial Day weekend coming up, and Larry, I know you've also got something going on at Rath Auto Resources as well.
Oh, we're really excited. We're kicking off our Memorial Day sale now. We're going to start this weekend at both stores, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, and we're marking down all of our used cars. We're putting red tags in them. It's the red tag blowout, and it goes through Memorial Day. You're going to save a lot of money. It's just a great time to buy. We've got special arrangements with our lenders. Every credit's going to be accepted during this sale. We've got financing for everybody. You know, those rates are coming down a little bit. If you've got good credit, we've got banks and lenders just lined up wanting to help you get the very best rates available. If you've got less than perfect credit, we got banks and lenders ready to help you as well. And so it's a great time to come in, take advantage of some special financing along with great red tag discounts on a big inventory, road ready certified used cars with warranty. You can't buy a better used car. We've been bulking up. We've got a big inventory, every kind of a car that you can imagine. We've got one that's just right for you and your family. We'd love a chance to help you save some money now during the red tag Memorial Day blowout sale. You can put those words in any arrangement that you want to. It's all the same. It's a big sale and it's going on now. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Y'all come and see us.
All right, we've got some clarification. We'll get to that from Matt in the 501 coming up in just a bit. Larry, have yourself a good weekend, kicking off Memorial Day weekend a little bit early, aren't we?
Well, we are. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but it's a great time to save, and it just kind of stretch that out and help people get a chance to come on in, pick out the right car, and leave happy with a nicer newer car from Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale.
There you go. All right, Larry, good stuff. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great day, and go Hogs!
All right, it is a Fastball Friday brought to you by QC Kinetix. We still got a lot to get to here on the Morning Rush. Stay with us here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
.com or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
But I hope they all understand there's a lot of mutual respect. I respect the crud out of Arkansas and their program and what they've built.
This is the Morning Rush. You're listening to Toyota Tuesday. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Save up to $5,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed federal motor carrier safety administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
At Evans Body Shop, we take pride in delivering exceptional customer service to our customers. Here's what some of them have to say.
It was the kindness that got me. Then I witnessed their work.
And their customer service was just exceptional.
They are so kind and understanding, and they let you feel like you don't need to worry about anything, especially dealing with the insurance company. That was great. And the repair work was tremendous.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about. A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
So let's get back to this barbecue versus grilling thing here. Let's get this straightened out.
Did your
It's
homework
part of
for ya.
our morning rush daily question brought to you by Cart Pass Social. A barbecue can be the event. Hey, I'm having friends over for a barbecue at the house. But you're either going to grill meat or you're going to smoke meat. You're not going to barbecue meat, right?
Yeah, and maybe I know this is maybe the first time I've ever said this, but maybe I stated something incorrectly here.
I know it rarely happens. That's why I want to make sure that we didn't let the audience leave with the wrong idea about something.
Matt from the 501 says barbecue is a noun, not a verb. Only Yankees use it as a verb. Barbecue is slow cooked pork or beef, burgers, and hot dogs or grill. I just, again, when I think of a barbecue as a noun, I think about hot dogs and hamburgers. I don't typically think about brisket, pulled pork, or any typical barbecue fare.
So, if we're having a barbecue and we're going to grill things for Memorial Day weekend, what's your favorite thing to throw on the grill for a weekend barbecue? If I thoroughly confused you now?
Yeah. I kind of that I make or someone else makes. That's better.
What is Ty Richardson's favorite thing to throw on the grill?
Burgers are just easy, so that it's hard. It's really difficult to screw up burgers. I'll screw up.
Oh, I don't think you can screw up a burger.
You
can undercook it. You can overcook it. You can burn it on the out. What's the worst is you get the fire too hot. You burn it on the outside, and it's raw on the inside. You can overcook it and it's dry. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to screw up a burger.
I have not screwed.
You could not put cheese on it. Do you trust anyone that doesn't want cheese on their burger at a barbecue? I need to see a note from your doctor that says you're lactose intolerant in order to really not give you the side eye in a little bit. You trust people that don't put cheese on their burgers?
Just from the maybe the health standpoint. Outside of that,
what's a slice of cheese going to do
to
you?
Well, like the lactose,
I need to see a note from your doctor in that case.
The lactose from one piece of cheese?
Yeah.
What's that going to do to you? And most people that just say they're lactose intolerant just don't want to spend a couple extra minutes on the toilet like the rest of us do.
Like the rest of us
cheese
do.
is worth it.
John in Nashville saying here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, saying you're going to a barbecue is kind of like you're saying you're going to drink beer, but you drink White Claw.
Yeah, this is true.
Boy band beer.
Boy band beer. That's exactly right.
Oh, man. I feel like the seltzer community just gets unfairly ripped apart on these airwaves from time to time, even though I enjoy beer too. I enjoy beer, seltzers. I'm an equal opportunity alcoholic, so it doesn't really matter. Burgers. Your initial question was burgers.
Gotta have some hot dogs. I love a good hot dog on Memorial Day.
Do you burn the hot? Do you like them burnt? Like
they do have to have a little bit of char on them because that's just extra flavor, which to me is better.
I'm the same with I don't like the gooey s'mores. Like I like things more overcooked than undercooked. Even steaks.
Oh my God!
Your s'more has to be golden brown.
You don't like your steak well done, do you?
I would rather enjoy it medium or medium well than medium rare. It's too chewy when it's medium rare. I'd rather have it
too
cooked.
Chewy. You think it gets more tender the longer it's cooked?
I personally do. I know that's probably a wild take here this morning. Yeah. I don't. I just like things cooked longer.
Anyone ever heard a man say that before?
He just did.
That the meat gets more tender as you cook it longer on a steak?
It just tastes like, not slimy, but it's just like, I don't.
How do you taste it with all that ketchup you put on it?
It's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Strawberry preserves.
Yeah, strawberry preserves. That was a one-time thing.
I might try that too sometime. All right, that's your Morning Rush Daily Question. It is brought to you by Cart Pass Social.
Nate says before that, I need to be drug tested. Yes, Nate.
Caleb and Pangburn on the Lewis Automotive Hot. Bratwurst or Boudin? I'll go bratwurst.
Boudin. Boudin is, if you know how to do it, Boudin is fantastic.
The key to bratwurst.
Agent says take a lap.
Key to bratwurst is you got to cook them on the stovetop in beer.
Yes.
And then you put them on the grill for just a few minutes.
I don't know if your brat dogs or hot works, but something gave me the runs 2 weeks ago. I don't know which one it was, but I had to leave the Bob Walker Stadium I guess it was Thursday.
You were the only one that had the problem.
I don't know. Maybe it was something I ate lunch that day.
Yeah.
Whatever the
case. You quickly blame it on me. I love that.
It's just easier that way.
Yeah.
Hey, Tommy mentioned Cart Pass Social.
Blame my cooking.
They've got their 1-year anniversary event coming up.
Maybe I had a special bratwurst just for you.
That sounds... Don't
eat that one. No, eat that one. Yeah.
I was going to say, don't expand. Please don't expand on that. 1-year anniversary event coming up. They've got a corporate scramble on Thursday, College World Series watch party on Friday. Hopefully Arkansas will be a participant of that. And then Cart Pass Social after dark as well on Friday.
They got Quail Hollow over there. You go play Quail Hollow this weekend? I bet they do.
I can text Christian Nate and verify that. I'm going to guess yes. You have 1,000 different courses that you can play at Cart Pass Social.
I bet Quail's on there.
Doesn't seem like a course that even the players like playing, based on the comments that I've seen this week.
It's a tough challenge.
Is it?
It's a hard track.
Yeah. Again, cartpasssocial.com. You can play on over 1,000 different courses. 122 Grant Place and Lowell. 2 Rogers guys that have put this thing together. It's fantastic. BYOB always at Cart Path Social. You mentioned the PGA Championship course. Scotty Scheffler, I guess had a double bogey and then an eagle.
Now Scheffler's birdie putt on its way. Scotty Scheffler. So he hasn't done anything. Chips in to make a birdie. Holds it from after the eagle is 2 under par.
So it says eagle putt. I guess it was a birdie putt. But either way, leaderboard, some names you don't necessarily, I mean, you follow this more than I do. I was just kind of reading some text yesterday from people that were talking about this. And what do you think of Thursday's round?
Well, I mean, 6 under with Jonathan Vegas is, reasonably.
Did you know who that was before?
Yeah, he's been on tour a while.
Okay.
Max Homa's one I think most people that follow golf would know. But, the big name, your point is the big names in golf aren't on the upper fold of the leaderboard. So, I mean, but it's the first day. We'll see what happens. You got to scroll down a little ways. Luke Donald was up there for a while yesterday.
McElroy's +3?
Yeah, and that's a place he has really had a lot of success over the years as Quail Hollow. So I wouldn't count him out even at that. But, yeah, you got to go down a ways to find some star power. DeChambeau is tied for 23rd right now at -2. So I think the course this weekend it's going to be interesting, and particularly when we look at the weather. I was reading something about they have like many the sub-air systems underneath the greens, so even if they get substantial rain, the greens will stay dry, but the fairways and the surrounds and the approaches will be a little softer. And there's some that believe that will make it even more difficult in some places, or in some cases on that course. So I'm interested to watch this weekend. Absolutely.
Colton, you had we had some baseball news that I guess recently broke. Do want to mention they announced last night Aiden Jimenez is getting his first start of the season for the Arkansas Razorbacks today. It was TBA. They put in the Oliver Griggs email as the communications director for Arkansas baseball that Jimenez is getting his first start in game number 2 against the Alpha Liam Doyle. What else has happened here in the last few minutes or so?
Yeah, Tom Hart, who you heard do play-by-play last night for the game, also he tweeted out this morning at 8:15 a.m. Programming note: tonight's Vol baseball and Razorback baseball game will now air on SEC Network. That's regular SEC Network at 6:30 Central Time here in Arkansas. So regular SEC Network, linear channel. You don't have to go to any pluses or apps or anything like that. It'll be on SEC Network, 6:30.
And it was originally scheduled for the SEC Plus. And, of course, you can always listen on most of these ESPN Arkansas stations, hitthatline.com and our Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell, where you can always keep it. Were you listening? I was kind of curious. Did you listen to any of the shows the last few days, or were you just completely locked into golf?
I don't know that I was completely locked into golf, but I did have the app going, not for this show, but yeah.
Wow, that hurts.
Yeah, I want to hear what Matt and Phil had
for
to say.
For the other good shows.
That is so convenient. There were some guys in the group that live here in our backyards, and they take it wherever they go. So I mean, it makes it really easy. So met some new buddies from Texas. I don't have time to go into it, but I heard maybe the greatest idea I've ever heard. That's been going on for 20 years. I got to share with you and maybe the audience as well. Coming up, it is something that we need to get started in our own neck of the woods.
Like as a company, or just like as Arkansans?
As men.
Okay, stay tuned for that, folks.
Yeah,
there's
a hook.
That's a heck of a tease.
Fastball Friday brought to you by QC Kinetix, the nation's leader in regenerative care. If you got joint pain and you can't seem to get relief, and your doctor says surgery or pain pills and drugs, and if you do surgery, 8, 10, 15 weeks of downtime and all this rehab are your only options, there's a better way with biologic growth factors from your body. Your body can heal your own body. They'll put those right to where it hurts the most, strategically placing them in your joint and getting you long-lasting relief. 479-999-1234 is the number. 999-1234 for QC Kinetix.
We've got a Game 7 in the West, Sunday afternoon on ABC in Oklahoma City.
Nikola Jokic needs to be like, I put down or something, because he just keeps killing the Thunder. I mean, it is unbelievable. He has 29, 14, and 8 last night. They they make it to a Game 7, and now Thunder in a do-or-die situation this upcoming weekend in Loud City. Saw a lot of fans still welcoming back Jalen, Isaiah, and the rest of the guys, but I'm a little nervous for Sunday.
This is not where the favorite's supposed to be at this point.
You're waiting, and Anthony Edwards is just kind of sitting there waiting on you, the way he's played this playoffs.
The Ant-Man.
Yeah, he's been good. What are you? How are you feeling over there, Knicks fan? You going to close it out?
Well, like
Game 6?
Like I said yesterday, I figured that it would end up being Knicks in 6. Look, they've Boston's been really good without Tatum when he's been out all year. Whenever he's had some games for load management and had some injuries early on in the season, they've still found ways to win without him. So it's not like it's just going to be any easier for New York, but the task ahead of you is a lot smaller when you get to return back to the real Garden in New York City. So hopefully they just they give those New York fans a lot to go crazy about tonight.
We'll have to wait and see again. You've got 2 opponents that are already set for the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals, and now we'll have to just wait and see if Colton's Knicks and our Oklahoma City. I'm calling them R because I feel like there's a lot more Arkansas fans listening that are Oklahoma City Thunder fans. Now, I haven't asked this yet. Maybe you can save this for next hour. I am curious to see how you said it was a difficult course. You failed to mention what you actually shot.
1 billion.
You might have to.
I'm sure they want to hear play-by-play, hole by hole.
Andy says
Andy wants to know what I shot
at Prairie Dunes. I'm just
billion.
reading the text
I
of
got
Lewis
3
Automotive Group
numbers I'll give you.
Hotline. Okay,
you can put them in your lottery numbers coming up. Hey, it's warming up. I know this. Starting to see temperatures pushing 90, low to mid 90s coming up. Andy's Frozen Custards can give you the relief with something sweet. Take your favorite candies or fruit flavors. They can mix them in one of their concretes, and that frozen custard has the exact flavors you want. I like the Heath mixed in with the vanilla. It is awesome. Download the Andy's app. Stop in to see them in Conway. They got 2 locations there. JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you at Andy's Frozen Custards.
Fastball Friday rolls on. Hour 2 coming up next.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new ultra matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
Mega Millions now has better odds, bigger prizes, and the highest starting jackpot in America. Top prizes start at $50 million and increase rapidly until someone wins. What else is new? How about no more break-even prizes? Win anywhere from 2 to 10 times your bet. And the multiplier? It's no longer an add-on. Mega Millions is always $5 per play, bells and whistles included. Play today in stores or on the go. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for problem gambling helpline.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
We all plan to be on time, but fender bending, damaged windshield, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
To $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Now, here's a look at the weather. Chance of seeing a few isolated showers or storms. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the mid to upper 80s. A few scattered showers or storms tonight, and overnight low will drop down into the middle 60s. Saturday, some scattered showers and thunderstorms are high on Saturday in the middle 80s, partly sunny mid 80s on Sunday, and then Monday, a few hit-or-miss showers possible, a high right around 85 degrees. I'm meteorologist Sally Russell on Bigfoot Country.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and
ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
It's a lot of pressure on me sitting next to a wordsmith like you.
Everything's still pretty much the same round. He's on his way to the plate. Cut off throw. Sliding in. He's out. Dogs need a review. They're going to ask for a review. This was awfully close. Gackle strikes out Chapman looking to end the fifth inning. The umpire right in front of him had immediately signaled he made the catch. And then there was the confusion. 1-3 put out ends the ninth inning. Arkansas does not request a review, so that's it.
We left a lot of runners out there. That probably was the difference in the game early. But you can't pitch like that. You can't pitch behind in the count against a good hitting team.
Live from the Bush Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Swear it was like
I know you're wondering about the opinion of this new album that we're listening to right now from Morgan Wallen.
I
know
can't wait to hear your review.
This might be the best song of the 22 ones that I've listened to.
That's the best
got
one.
14 to go.
I hope you didn't pay a lot.
I mean, Spotify, $11 a month or whatever it is. I feel like so in 2025, it's like as a man, as a 30-year-old, if you like a female artist, you get made fun of. And if you like a male artist, that's a little more poppy country, you get made fun of too. I can't win with you.
It's pro
people.
country.
I'm a bro.
Bro. You and Lane Kiffin, you gonna sit around and listen to 37 Morgan Wallen songs?
Lane Kiffin's interview with Theo Vaughn was one of the funniest things I've watched this
Crack
season.
some White Claws and listen to Morgan Wallen, bro. Or is it bruh?
He's
I
tied
think
with
it's bruh.
He's tied
That's
with
what they say at my house, bruh.
Does Dylan say brah?
Oh, my daughter does too, bruh.
To
I say,
you?
ain't you? And then quickly I quit. I'm not your bruh. I'm your dad.
There's a it's because of that TikTok. Has she made that TikTok with her?
I've made a few TikToks with her.
Okay. There you go.
You know, your daily fit. Sometimes you got to go do your daily fits on TikTok.
Really?
I've been told.
That's good to know. I'll have you do that one day for ours.
Yeah, you got to do your daily fit. Hey, it's Fastball Friday, brought to you by QC Kinetix, the nation's leader in regenerative joint pain relief. If you got pain in your back, knees, shoulders, hips, wherever it's hurt, maybe your ankle. I know some people that have had arthritic pain that's just debilitating in their ankle, and they got to get relief from that. Whatever it is that you're doing now, if it's not working, and your doctor has said, want to do surgery, here's a lot of pain prescriptions, and by the way, rehab and downtime, and don't golf, don't hike, don't do the things you love for 8 to 12 weeks. Well, there's a better way with QC Kinetix. They take the healing powers from your body and strategically and precisely place them in the joint where you're hurting the most. QC Kinetix, 479-999-1234, 999-1234 for QC Kinetix.
All right, coming up in about 30 minutes, we're going to have Arkansas Sports Hall of Famer Tim Horton join us to talk about his late father. I think it's a really good conversation. So if you don't get a chance to listen, it'll be in our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast later. It's already up also on hitthatline.com. So stay tuned for that. Let's go to the Lewis Automotive Group hotline where Kevin is in Rogers this morning. Kevin, what is on your mind here on a Fastball Friday?
Hey guys, how are you? It's been a bit. I've just been texting in mostly. Tommy, how you doing? Welcome back.
Yeah, good to be here. I'm better. I'm telling you, I enjoyed the golf the last 3 days, but it mentally exhausted me. So that was the hardest golf course I've ever played, ever. And I don't know where you'll find a harder one, Kevin. That's as hard as I've seen.
I played golf there. I went to college not far from there in Winfield.
Okay.
So,
well, it's funny you said that because you went to Southwestern.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the guys we had that works there at the club. He was on the golf team at Southwestern in Winfield, so he was a local kid there.
I ran track and cross country out there. Anyway, let's talk baseball.
All right, let's do it.
Let's being a baseball guy, and let's keep in mind. I know everybody we swept Texas, everything's back on track. We need to keep in mind going into the regional and hopefully super regionals. This is a team that's lost 4 out of the last 5 series. So we don't have the pitching that we typically have had. Yes, Root has pitched well at times, but I think the same thing rears its ugly head over the last few years, and it's the biggest thing, and I'll let you guys comment, but timely hitting. Getting 15 hit. I mean, hitting the ball wasn't the problem, but we've seen great pitchers scatter 9 or 10 hits over 8 innings in the major leagues throughout the years, and still they win that game because you prevent the guys in scoring position from scoring. I mean, I really think that's an issue. It wasn't an issue earlier in the year, and I know we're second in the conference, but if I had to rate the top 5, I mean, I think we'd be sitting below third right now. I mean, I just don't think we're playing very well, and I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to be realistic.
Trying to be honest.
I mean, it's going to be I'm just trying to be honest. I mean, I know the sport. I mean, you guys know it too. I mean, timely, you can't leave, those type of runners.
Yeah.
Now that, Bill almost scored 6 7.
I agree with everything you're saying, Kevin, but we all know this is a game, much like golf, where it can go from bad to great and great to awful in the blink of an eye. And we've watched teams in Mississippi win national titles that didn't have, a great regular season run. Arkansas had a much better regular season run. We've seen the ceiling on this team. Now, they're going to have to play close to that to do it, but do you think that those days are gone, that Root can't have his best stuff in a place like Omaha? I think they can, but I guess I'm hoping they can put it together at the right time. I know it's there, but can we have it at the right time? And that's what every other team in this conference is trying to figure out as well.
Well, I had someone ask me, the other day, says, what program do you think will make it further, the women's softball or the men's baseball team? Because women's softball, I mean, this is the best team she's had. She has a dominant player. And I said, well, you can't really answer that question right now because we know who they're playing, and they got a bad draw in my view. Yeah, St. Louis isn't very good, but Oklahoma State should have hosted a regional.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough out. I mean, that's going to be tough, and that's who they'll probably have to beat. But we don't know how the Hogs regional is going to, come out. If you get swept and don't win a game in the SEC tournament, I know the RPI is high, but you may not host a regional. Do you think?
No.
Contingent. That would only be contingent upon if you lose this series.
And you say get swept. It's single elimination in the SEC tournament.
And they'll play unless they'll. I say they're 100% locked in for Friday. That's actually not true. They're locked in Thursday or Friday because they're locked
in the top four. Is what you're. Yes. Locked in 2, 3, or 4 because Texas is locked in at 1 now.
And I need to actually reassess that because Vanderbilt is 17-11. I know you have the tiebreaker over them, but you've got 3 teams right behind you. Georgia and LSU has beat you, and then and Vanderbilt. Something would happen.
Split the next 2, don't get swept, and everything's going to be fine.
And you'll be a top 4. I think to your point, Kevin, here's what I would say. You were talking about putting Arkansas below 3. So when you look at the top 6 teams in the Southeastern Conference, you've swept 2 of them. You swept Texas, and then you went on the road to Vanderbilt to sweep the Commodores. But you've lost 2 of those series to Georgia and LSU, and you might end up losing to Tennessee. So, again, I know there's a lot of factors, and Dave Van Horn was talking about it either this week or the week before, talking about variables and stats and everything else. You just don't want to put yourself in this situation. So if you win the series, there's no doubt, no problem, you'll be hosting as a national seed. But if you lose, you're at least putting it into discussion that you might not be a top 8 national seed, even if the SEC was to get several here moving on the NCAA tournament.
Well, one thing, you talk about the Vanderbilt sweep, which nobody goes there and sweep. Let's keep that in mind. That was the 3rd or 4th series of the year. I mean, if they went to Vanderbilt right now, the way they're playing, they would not sweep Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's playing very good baseball right now.
Yeah.
So let's remember, it's just like, the basketball team beating Michigan early in the year.
It's a collective body of work.
It was the 3rd series of the SEC slate. It was at the end of March, so your point's valid.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, appreciate your call this morning. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Okay.
Yeah. This isn't the year, to Kevin's point and to yours. I think that the one you're trying to make. This isn't the year you'd want the committee to overvalue the last 10 or 15 games. Well, how'd you do down the stretch? We're going to put a lot of weight into how but you know what? Texas hasn't performed well. Tennessee hasn't performed. It's because this league is tough. You beat up on each other. Now, this one's important because you're at home. It's understandable to anybody how you can go to LSU and lose 2 of 3. Just like it's understandable how Texas came here and got swept. So, but I think when you're at home, there ought to be a little more weight in the results of your home games if you're evaluating that. Need to win this one.
Seth and Fort Smith saying, the guy just answered his own question. At certain points this season, Arkansas was good enough to sweep Vanderbilt. That's accurate. Right now, they're not playing their best baseball and probably wouldn't.
But guess what? Vanderbilt wasn't playing their best baseball then. Mm-hmm. They'd hit the skids. It's just about peaking at the right time.
It's a tough league. I mean, LSU went on the road to South Carolina last night, and Maneri got them back in the first game of the series. And LSU's been the hottest team in baseball. And South Carolina has been
number one in the country. Yeah, and
thank you, Gamecocks. Appreciate that. That helped Arkansas last night.
Keep it going. Let's hear from Dave Van Horn. I know Zach Root was mentioned. Here's what he said about Arkansas starter last night.
He didn't have his good stuff really from the get-go. He didn't have breaking ball and wasn't locating his fastball like he normally does compared to what we've seen the last couple of weeks. Just behind in the count, 2-0, 3-1, gave up a couple of big hits and just fought it out there. They did a good job and laid off pitches, and you can't pitch like that. You can't pitch behind in the count against a good hitting team. That's what happened, I saw.
So he doesn't make it through 4 innings last night, 3 2/3, and there was, think about that. So think about the end of that game, or excuse me, the end of his night last night. You have what could have been a double play, and then also Aloy almost made that play at short that would have got him out of the inning. But those 2 went against you, and ultimately he had to be yanked out, and then the rest of the night just unfortunately got out of control.
Well, and you had your chances late though. Just didn't you can't strand 3 runners in the 7th, and but back to what Dave's talking about there and getting ahead in the count. Ben McDonald last weekend in that LSU series gave some stats about guys getting on base and hits in a 0-2 count versus a 2-0 count versus a 1-2 count. I wish I had those numbers, but it was decisive. I mean, decisive. What happens when a pitcher gets ahead 0-2, 1-2 versus 2-0, 2-1? I mean, and I don't think that's news to anyone that follows baseball, but I'd never heard it put in the analytical terms, and the disparity between the two situations was eye-opening to me. So, I mean, it's no revelation that you need to be ahead 0-2 in the count. Everybody knows that. But the numbers and your on-base percentage and your batting average against an 0-2 count was like 160, if I remember right. I mean, you had all the edge as the pitcher. And that's where you can't find yourself in this league or you're going to get beat up.
Major difference. We do know who's going to be on the bump tonight for the Arkansas Razorbacks. For the first time in his career, Aiden Jimenez is getting a start. Dave Van Horn got asked about it last night.
Yeah, we were down to 2. We're not sure yet. We're going to go back and talk about it. We might be able to let you know tonight. I want to talk to Coach Hobbs about it a little bit.
So you got one kid that's making his first start against the best pitcher in the SEC later on, which is an interesting dynamic for this baseball team and everything else.
But also, you're playing their best, maybe the best in the league, right? Liam Doyle. So maybe you hold what you got, hold your cards, hold your aces, or the best cards you got, because what's most important here? Winning one. So I understand that you're concerned about the number of series you've lost, but if you're 19-11, you're in the catbird seat the rest of the way.
Yeah, here's what David, as far as Doyle is concerned, here's what he said about their ace.
Yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he? I don't think our team has any problem with confidence. I think that it's a big challenge. Should be a good challenge for us.
They go man up. You think they go say, oh, man, this guy's, I mean, they're going, listen, when you get to this point in your career, you want to play the best.
Mm-hmm.
You want to measure yourself against the guy because you know what you'd take a ton of pride in and a lot of confidence in? Knocking that guy out after about, facing 12 or 13 batters. We can't let, Tony V's got to come out there and get him. That's what you take a lot of, so it's a great opportunity from a hitting standpoint for Arkansas. Hey, if you're looking for a way to reload the tackle box, find your favorite lures made by Pradco at the click of a button at lurenet.com. Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more all there, plus exclusive deals you'll find only at lurenet.com and baits you won't find anywhere else. And all U.S. orders over $35 get free shipping as well. So treat yourself and your buddies to some tackle box treasures. Check them all out at lurenet.com. That's lurenet.com.
It's National Pizza Party Day. Have you anticipated that?
No.
I just want to make sure our office is ready for.
I can make a phone call. We can get some pizza up in here. It's pizza. I know you're a pepperoni sausage onion or a mushroom guy.
I like pepperoni. I always eat pepperoni mushroom. My dad hates Baylor Brad for whatever reason. I don't know if it's the texture or whatever, but he's not a mushroom guy. Never has been.
No one in my house besides me are wild about them.
As long as what do you always say?
Do you like the fresh mushrooms or the ones that come out of a can?
Oh, I'm good with both.
I like the canned ones better than I like the fresh ones. Yeah, the fresh ones dry up, get a little stringy.
Sardini.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have the old canned ones.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, if you want to do something nice for your office, then it's National Pizza Party Day. If you're an owner or manager, you can do that. All right, we've got our SEC update.
Will you go get them? If I buy them, will you go get them?
I honestly just. Full disclosure, I got to skedaddle up to Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about Colton and the rest of the great staff here at ESPN Arkansas. How much?
When's your tea time?
I mean, you've been. I'm not going.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lie. I am golfing, but it's not in Northwest Arkansas.
Truth always comes out.
It's later on. It's after work later on. So we'll figure it out.
I can't say a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say you've golfed 4 times this week,
but I took vacation.
I've only golfed twice. I've only golfed twice.
I was on vacation this week.
Yeah, I guess, can I call it vacation in Hoover next week? We'll figure it out. All right, your SEC update's coming up next.
Don't turn in an expense report.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
We'll figure it out. SEC update coming your way next. What else happened in the conference last night? Texas unfortunately clinched. Hate to tell you that, but they have clinched the regular season title. We'll do that coming up here on a Fastball Friday.
Hey, we're brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. Rock, asphalt, sand, gravel, and ready-mix concrete can be brought to your home or your job site, wherever it's at. No job's too big or small with APAC and Standard Materials Group. If you say, I need a new driveway, my old one's falling apart, the sidewalks around my house are collapsed in, or you're building brand new, where do I start? I need help planning. They have construction consultant services to help you with that as well. 479-587-3300, 587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
Through kicks and deals, he struck him out swinging. This is Fastball Friday on the Morning Rush.
Presented by QC Kinetix. Get real lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes.
This is the Morning Rush.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, your Xerox authorized dealer in the River Valley. Xerox is more than just a brand, it's your ultimate business partner. Whether you need high-speed printers, powerful copiers, or seamless cloud solutions, Xerox has the tools to keep your business running smoothly and efficiently. And right now, for a limited time, we're offering a free Xerox color printer with the lease or purchase of many Xerox models. To learn more, call us at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, your partner in business success.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Have you heard? TGI Fridays is having happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 till 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. to close with half-price drinks and $5 select appetizers, including potato skin, spinach dip, pot stickers, and much more. Plus, you can get in on 50-cent Wing Monday from 5 p.m. to close. And karaoke on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 8 p.m. It's all at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion. You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the tough there is.
Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
So Arkansas got some good news with J.J. Andrews announcing his commitment.
Man, it's awesome. It's unexplainable. I mean, I've been dreaming about this since day one, just following my own legacy. That's what he always tells me. So it's great to be able to be a Hog.
The son of All-American Sean Andrews here is an offensive lineman at Arkansas. J.J., 4 or 5-star, depending on what recruiting service you look at in this upcoming class of 2026. Guard at Little Rock Christian, probably going to play the 2 or the 3 at the next level if I had to guess. But a lot of people really excited. Came down to 2 other SEC opponents, the LSU Tigers and Missouri Tigers, and he is staying put. Here's On 3's Joe Tipton on what Arkansas is getting in JJ.
John Calipari is keeping the state of Arkansas's top recruit home as he's landed the commitment of J.J. Andrews. J.J., one of the top shooting guards nationally, becomes the Hogs' first commitment in the class of 2026. At 6'6", Andrews is a strong physical downhill guard that is hard to stop in the open court. He's a proven winner with a high motor and will be ready to contribute from day one.
Oh, they won at least one state title. They won 2. Florida Christian went back-to-back. I should know that as the alum, but I don't remember.
I should be asking you.
I think JJ is going to come on with us at some point next week. I was talking to Coach Wayman yesterday, but I'm excited, not just because he's going to Arkansas, because he's an LRCA alum, and this is a kid that a lot of people wanted, and sounds like he's staying home.
So as long as John Calipari's the head coach, will Arkansas ever lose the top in-state player to another school?
Yes, if Coach Cal didn't want him.
Yeah, I think it's got to be a mutual interest.
Okay.
There might be an off year.
I just can't imagine you being the number 1 player in our state, which produces good talent. Yes. I mean, it's not like, the number 1 player in Arkansas football isn't always an SEC caliber player. In basketball, if you're the number 1 player in the state, generally everybody in the SEC plus, Duke, Kansas, and anyone else would love to have you. So, I mean, generally you're more than good enough to play at Arkansas if you're the number 1 player in the state. So I'll be interested to see if that ever happens, because I think that's long been the pain, right? What happened here with Cal taking players to Kentucky, Florida getting some of your best guys. We know how those stories turned out. I think at least for a while, as long as he's here, that those days are over.
No, I think it's a fair point. Arkansas will be playing on the SEC Network rather than SEC Network Plus tonight. The bad news
Real
is,
TV.
Yeah, softball is on
always
ESPN.
on the radio.
Yeah, ESPN Plus. So if you don't have ESPN Plus, can't watch the softball unless you're at Bogle Park, of course. You got to deal with that, which is kind of annoying. Razorbacks dropped their game last night to the Vols in Game 1, 10-7. Florida defeated Alabama. Georgia defeated Texas A&M. He brought this up earlier. Mississippi State just rocked Missouri 25-7. Texas beats Oklahoma in Game 1, clinching the regular season SEC title. Ole Miss beats Auburn. LSU falls to South Carolina. That was big. And then Vanderbilt beats Kentucky. Now,
so you need to root for A&M these next 2 days. South Carolina winning one of the last two would help.
A&M, South Carolina, and Kentucky are the teams we're rooting for this weekend, with Vanderbilt, Georgia, and LSU right behind you, all at 17-11, while you sit squarely at second place at 18-10.
You know what, though? Just root for the Razorbacks, and hopefully that's enough. Again, win one of two, and no matter what anybody else does, really. I mean, as far as you're going to be 2, 3, or 4 at that point, so you're in good shape. If you get to 19-11 this league, good things are going to come your way. That's what one more win will do. So you still hold your own destiny in that regard. So win the next two, and you're number 2 seed out of this league. All right, that's your SEC update. It's brought to you by Brothers Roofing and Restorations. If you've had some wind, and I know there's been some hail in parts of south of Fort Smith and across that area, some smaller hail, but maybe it's been enough to damage your roof, or maybe the wind has turned up a few shingles, or you've found some shingles laying in your yard. It's time to call Brothers Roofing and Restoration, 479-353-3877. Also, if you notice more than a handful of roofs going on in your subdivision, your neighborhood, near your house, and you haven't had your roof inspected, Brothers can come out and do a free inspection with your adjuster if needed, to make sure that you maximize your insurance benefits. 479-353-3877. 353-3877 for Brothers Roofing and Restoration.
Oh, we got Coach Tim Horton coming up, former Razorback running backs coach. He's been in college football 35 years, talking about his late father, Harold Horton. I think it's a really good conversation. Do want to mention this before we get a break. Do you see that Ohio lawmaker that's trying to ban noon kickoffs for Ohio State? This is more just more like trying to touch your base. It's not going to happen. Fox has the deal with the Big Ten, so they're going to keep putting the best games at 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Central.
Man, when it's late November, mid-November, you don't want to be playing night games, up there. Yeah, there's a reason they play Michigan, Ohio State at noon.
You're right.
Because 6 p.m., in many years would be dangerously cold. So, I mean, careful for what you wish for there. Yeah. Hey, coming up in a couple of weeks, end of this month, right after Memorial Day, the first ever Bentonville Barbecue Festival is coming. They're going to fire up on Saturday, May the 31st at the Momentary, and we're all invited for the smokiest, sauciest Saturday of the summer. Over 15 top barbecue pitmasters from across the country are there. There's teams from Texas, South Carolina, Kansas City, Georgia, and Chicago. Chicago's not generally known for their great barbecue, but I'd be very interested to see what kind of product they could turn out. Hey, if you want things for the kids to do, kids 10 and under, get in for free, and bring your whole kid or your whole crew and with your kids for the biggest appetites as well, because this is going to be a great kickoff to summer. It's the Bentonville Barbecue Festival. Online, BentonvilleBarbecueFestival.com. That's BentonvilleBarbecueFestival.com, and we will see you there at the Momentary on Saturday, May the 31st.
All right, so after last night, how you feeling about this baseball team? What do you think's going to happen in games 2 and 3 against the Tennessee Volunteers? Who, by the way, Tony Vitello got his second win against Dave Van Horn. Here's what he had to say on the series.
Tomorrow I think it's a night game. It's senior night for them. It'll be high emotion, something we've experienced not just at our park but on the road as well. If we do have success on Friday or game 1, we have had some success. You're going to get the other team's best punch. So I think the biggest thing is to have a sense of calm. You want some energy over here, but a sense of calm and composure over here, and make sure we're just playing the game. Some things got hokey there in one inning. We rush a play and some other stuff. So I think the biggest thing for us is just to play ball tomorrow.
All right, 6:30 tonight, Baum Walker Stadium. We'll have it here for you on ESPN Arkansas. Most of these stations have the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. Gaston's is getting geared up for summer, and they've got a perfect cabin or lodge for you and your family. In fact, they got about 80 of them on property. Pool's getting ready, fitness center, all these things you could do in addition to the high-quality fishing. When it comes to trout fishing, there's no better place in North America than you'll find at Gaston's White River Resort. The White River is truly the premier trout fishery in North America. And that's a mouthful because there's some great ones. And let me tell you, the White River is chief amongst them. 870-431-5202 is their number. 870-431-5202. Make your summer plans for Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Through kicks and deals, he struck him out swinging. This is Fastball Friday on the Morning Rush.
Presented by QC Kinetix. Get real lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
I am going to have fun.
This is the Morning Rush.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Are you tired of loose, uncomfortable dentures or struggling with missing teeth? This is Dr. Charles Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cave, and myself experience with full arch dental implant solutions. Dentures that are securely attached to implants, giving you a natural looking, confident smile that feels like your own. No more slipping, no more pain, just the freedom to smile, speak, and eat with ease. You like coming to see us, right, Matt?
Who doesn't want to say, I love the way your smile lights up under your eyes? Call 479-646-0706 or visit rivervalleysmiles.com to schedule your consultation today.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
We lost a great Arkansan recently. We talked about the great Harold Horton for a little bit on these airwaves. I've listened to Matt Jones, Clay Henry, and others share some thoughts on a guy that's been a part of the Razorbacks, UCA, high schools, actually at Fort Chaffee for a little bit as well. father-son connections are special, and I feel like Coach Tim Horton would be able to better talk about his father than any of us would. So we're gonna listen to Coach here coming up in just one bit.
Yeah, and Tim Horton, you can tell the apple didn't fall far from the tree. He is a special individual. If you've gotten to know him, and I don't know him as well as many others, but have spent some time around him, and you talk about a guy that forges and builds relationships. That's Tim Horton.
He sent me a picture of him and his son and his wife Lauren at his son's graduation from the Marines this weekend. So pretty cool.
3 minutes to go. Wild Hog formation. Felix Jones, the first round. We talk about it. Better ask somebody. Felix Jones with the score.
You know, I've heard this guy talked about before. Felix Jones, who we've had on the program, has mentioned this guy. Matt Jones, who you get a chance to listen daily, has mentioned this guy. We're pleased to welcome Tim Horton here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Wish it was under better circumstances. Coach, appreciate your time this morning. We're getting a chance to talk to former Arkansas running backs coach, 35 years in college football, an Arkansas Sports Hall of Famer. Coach, your dad, Harold Horton, passed away about a week and a half ago. I know there's been numerous stories talked about him, numerous things said on this radio station, and kind words, but I just thought the perspective of his own son speaking to him, there's been so much said about what he did on the field and for the Razorback community, but maybe you could just touch on how he impacted your life and your family in 80 plus years on this earth.
Well, Ty, thanks so much for having us. And you're right. Dad was a difference maker for really so many people, but probably no one more than his family. I mean, he was the rock of our family. My mom and dad were married for 63 years. They had 2 children, myself and my older sister, Holly, and then 5 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren. And he was a father figure to especially so many of his former players, whether it was at Arkansas or whether it was at UCA. And it's really been neat to hear some stories about Dad that I never knew. I mean, maybe he was coaching at Forest City High School or as an assistant coach early on at Arkansas, and just the different things that he did and the way he impacted people's lives that were stories that you never heard of. There's a ton of Harold Horton stories out there. Most of them are really good, and a lot of them are really funny. We're not going to have a pity party. We know that my dad's in heaven, and we know that he's not suffering anymore. Not that he suffered a whole lot all the way to the end. We were very blessed with that. But lots of great stories and lots of people have reached out, and it's been very refreshing, to be honest.
Coach, you mentioned some of the stories that you maybe heard here in the last week or so that you hadn't heard. I wonder if you could share maybe a father-son story that stands out to you from back in the day with your dad.
Ty, it's interesting. I before I came on, I thought of a few stories, and Dad was an assistant coach at Arkansas for 13 years. He came in 1968 and left in 1980. And in about 1977, Dad's coaching the defensive line, and Arkansas is really good. I mean, they're terrific. That particular year, they went to the Orange Bowl and beat Oklahoma. And I'll never forget one Halloween night, the defensive linemen are going to come over to our house. And I'm a little boy. I'm in about 7th grade, but I can still remember it. And he's got Dan Hampton, who's first-team All-American defensive tackle from Jacksonville, Arkansas, who later goes on to be inducted in the Pro Hall of Fame with the Chicago Bears. He's got 2-time All-American Jimmy Walker from Little Rock Central. The best player may have been a kid named Dale White, who got hurt, but Dale was from Benton, Arkansas. He's got that guy named Reggie Freeman, and Reggie was from Hot Springs, and he's the defensive MVP of the Orange Bowl. I mean, so he's got these best D-line in the country. And so they come over to the house, and they're going to go trick-or-treat. And they're all dressed up, man. They're all dressed up. I remember Dan's Count Dracula. So, I mean, here's this 6'5", 275-pound All-American. I mean, he fills up the whole door. And so they come over and they trick-or-treat, and they come in for a little while, and then they're going to leave. And they leave, and, great. That was really awesome. I was cool to see them. I mean, those guys were my heroes. Well, they're going to go across the neighborhood there on Stanton Avenue in Fayetteville, and they're going to go trick-or-treat at some of the neighbors' house. Well, our neighbor is a great man, great family by the name of Jim Harder. And Jim Harder is an FBI agent. And Mr. Harder here comes these 4 people, 5 people, 6 people dressed up as Count Dracula, and who else knows what they're dressed up as. Well, the next thing you know, Jim Harder's got his gun out, and Dad's running across the street next door to the Harder's house, telling Jim, say, Jim, those are my players. Don't shoot them. They're not robbing the house. They're not doing anything. So, cute little Halloween story from back in the day, and I'm glad Mr. Harder didn't shoot him because that's the best D-line in the country. That was one. Dad was notorious for, he liked to walk. He was a walker, particularly in his later years. He walked when he coached some too, but a walk was not defined by how far he went or, if he got a good sweat out of it. A walk was defined for Dad by how many coins he found on the walk. And so he would go walk, and he would come back, and he might be gone for 45 minutes or an hour. And Coach Broyles was like this too. He was a walker. When he would get nervous, he would go walk. And so Dad would walk, and he would come back, and I'd say, hey, Dad, how was your walk? And he said, it was just okay. I said, Dad, you were gone an hour. You got a good sweat going. I mean, that's a great walk. He says, no, it was a 7 center. 7 center? What do you mean? Oh, I found 1 nickel and 2 pennies. At times he would say, how was your walk? And he'd say, oh, man, it was a great walk. I found 84 cents. I found, 3 quarters and a nickel and 4 pennies. And he says, oh, it was a great walk. So, and then one day his buddies at the coffee shop decided to go to the coffee shop. And one thing about Dad that was really good, I thought, he knew everybody, and he didn't care if they were the governor. He didn't care if they were in Congress. He didn't care if they were an NFL head coach or an NFL owner. He knew a lot of them. But he liked hanging out with the local maintenance guy. I mean, he didn't care. And so he had a coffee shop crew that he would go see. This is probably after he retired. And he would go to the local McDonald's, and they would drink coffee together. Tommy Boyer was in that group. Of course, Tommy just passed away. And a guy named Delno Cotton, who was a great athlete at Fayetteville High many years ago. But they decided that they were going to take a quarter and they were going to glue it to the sidewalk. And so they're going to glue this quarter to the sidewalk. And when Dad came into the McDonald's there, they knew that he would see it because he had an eagle's eye for any coin on the ground. And so Dad sees this quarter, and it's glued to the sidewalk. And for the next 5 minutes, Dad's trying to get this quarter picked up from the sidewalk, and he couldn't get it. And they're just having a hoot inside watching him try to pick up this quarter. So the next thing Dad goes back to his truck, he gets his pocket knife out. The next thing you know, he's got the pocket knife out, and he's trying to, get that quarter. And eventually Dad got that quarter, but they got about a 10-minute laugh out of Coach trying to get that quarter picked up that they found on the sidewalk. Lots of Harold Horton stories, but just some great memories of him as a coach, him as a father, just a really, really, really good man, and left a great legacy for all of us.
Coach, you've kind of taken on that legacy, as has your kids and as has the rest of the family. Like I said, Matt's talked about you. Felix has talked about you. Heck, Coach, I had lunch today with Cam Keller's stepfather, Jeff Marks, who's my real estate agent, and Cameron's coming to play for you at Air Force.
Sure is.
And I know you're excited about that. And what Jeff told me at lunch today about you is what you see is what you get. And as I hear you talk these stories about your dad, I can't help but think he passed on a great legacy to you, and you've taken it and run with it. You know how the phrase, sometimes the apple falls far from the tree? Well, based on everyone I've talked to, that's not the case with you, Coach.
Well, I appreciate it. He was a great example for me, and the funny thing about Dad and I, we obviously were very close. We were very, very close. Most days, wherever I've coached, whether it was Air Force or Auburn or Vanderbilt or Kansas State, most days when I would drive home from work, I would call him and call him and my mom just to check in with them. That was kind of my routine, see how their day went, all that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to miss those phone calls. We were close, but I never played for him. I was playing at Arkansas when he was coaching at UCA. And so he never coached my Little League baseball team, or I never was on his staff when he was the head coach and I was getting started in coaching. We were never on the same team, and that's kind of ironic because here both of us were coaches for so long, and here I've done it 35 years now, and I never got to coach with him, or I never played for him. He would have been great to play for, though.
We've had former players of his talk about that same thing you talked about. I'm pretty sure I've heard Dan Hampton talk and speak his praises. So it's pretty cool to see so many young men impacted by his legacies that left over here, not just his family. That, by the way, we're talking with Coach Tim Horton, currently at Air Force right now. Coach, I know you've been there before, so it's not like it's new territory for you. But what's it like being in Colorado? How are things going at the Air Force Academy with the football program?
Ty, it's been great. This will actually be my 12th year at the Air Force Academy, and we love it. I was there for 7 years with a guy by the name of Fisher DeBerry early in my career, and I actually left as the offensive coordinator at Air Force to come coach at Arkansas. I came with Houston Nutt and then stayed with Coach Petrino. Now I'm back, so this is round 2, and I'm about to start year 5. And Ty, college football's a mess right now. I mean, with the transfer portal and NIL, and the part that Dad was so good at and the part that I would like to think I'm really good at is the relationship part with the kid, the family, the high school coaches, and that part's going away to a certain extent because particularly in the Southeastern Conference now it's all about the money.
Mm-hmm.
How much can we give a guy on NIL? And at the Air Force Academy, we really don't have that. We can't get a kid from the transfer portal. We don't lose a lot of kids to the transfer portal. Every student at the Air Force Academy gets a little bitty stipend every month, and so we're not in the NIL world. And so it's about as pure as there is left. I don't know if I'll close my career here or not, but it's been great to be back for round 2, and we've had success. I mean, we've won, and we've won at a high level, and that's been good too.
Well, Coach, not only in your work life, but your personal life, you and your wife, Lauren, you're on your way to Quantico, Virginia.
We are.
To celebrate.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell our audience what you're celebrating?
Our son, Jackson. Jackson is a graduate of the University of Arkansas, graduated about a year ago, and then he became an officer in the United States Marine Corps. And we're not a family that's got a lot of military background. And so Jackson joins the Marine Corps, and we're actually headed to Quantico, Virginia. He's got a ceremony on Friday morning, graduating from what they call the basic school. And so he wants to get bad guys. So just a lot of respect for him and all of our military that they're willing to do what they do to protect and serve our country. So we're really proud of Jackson and looking forward to spending a couple of days with him in D.C. this weekend.
Coach, you mentioned your family not necessarily having the most extensive military background, but you're Coach Harold, he served not too far from me, right? I'm in Fort Smith. He was at Fort Chaffee for a little bit, wasn't he?
He was. When he was finishing up at Arkansas, I think right after he graduated, he was in the Army. And I think at that time everybody had to serve. And so I think his big job, Ty, used to give him a hard time about it. He was an ambulance driver. And so, I don't think that they weren't going to put him on the machine guns like they're doing Jackson. But I think Dad's a great respect for our military, and we're real proud of Jackson.
Coach, congratulations on that front. You referenced Coach Broyles a little bit earlier, and obviously your dad spent some time with him early on in his career, really helped lay the foundation for Coach Broyles' initial teams. I wonder if you could just kind of lay out how important that was for the early success of Arkansas football. Obviously, it went Coach Broyles to Coach Holtz, where your dad served under there. How important do you think his teams were early on in the late 50s and 60s for establishing Arkansas football back then?
Dad has had a lot of honors in his lifetime, most of them on the field, but a lot off the field as well. But I think his greatest honor may have been, and he may have been the most proud of this one, is he was the team captain of the 1961 Razorbacks. And the class of 61, that team, won 3 straight Southwest Conference championships. And that was Coach Broyles' first 3 championships. And so in 61, they went to the Sugar Bowl and lost to Alabama. I think the very next year, they went back to the Sugar Bowl in 62. 63, they did not have a real good year. They went 5-5. But in 64, of course, they win the national championship. And I got to spend a lot of time with Coach Hatfield the day before Dad's funeral, and he was talking about how he and that class of 64, they were all freshmen when my dad was a senior in 61. And so they did lay the foundation. They did kind of lay the groundwork and the work ethic and the standard of excellence early in the program. Of course, you win the national championship in 64. In 65, you go undefeated and lose to LSU in the Cotton Bowl, or you'd have won back-to-back national championships. And so I think those were really, really, important years. And then Dad comes back in 68, and in 68 they go to the Sugar Bowl and win. In 69, of course, was the game against Texas, the great shootout. And so Dad was a part of just a special era in Razorback football when he was playing, and then when he came back and coached there as well.
Coach, I want to get you out of here with a fun one, and hopefully a memory you guys shared. Razorback Roadshow stopped at the Bulldog in Searcy at Bald Knob, a place that your dad was formerly the head coach of the high school team. Did you get a chance to go to Bald Knob and have a strawberry shortcake with your pops?
Well, I have done that before. One other time we were fishing over there one day, and I think they called it the Bulldog Cafe, if I remember correctly, but we pulled in there and had something. I can't remember exactly, but that was actually before I was born, but I've heard all about the Bald Knob story. So a lot of great memories, and the beauty of Dad's life is that we'll get to see him again in heaven, because I know that's where he is, and hopefully I'll get a chance to go too.
Coach, you're really gracious with your time. Thank you for sharing an insight into one of the great men in Arkansas sports history. We appreciate you joining us today.
Hey, Ty, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. And, hey, anything we can ever do for you out at the Air Force Academy, don't hesitate to call.
Coach, enjoy your son's graduation this weekend. I know that's going to be a blast.
Hey, thanks, Ty. I really appreciate it.
So on the picture I received, it looks like it's already been a lot of fun out there in Virginia for
Great
Coach
family.
and his family.
Great family, great guy. Morning Rush brought to you in part by Mock Legal Solutions. They've opened a second location in Salisaw. They can handle family law, car wreck cases. If you've got an insurance company that's causing you a problem, give them a call at Mock Legal Solutions. And they also understand you don't have big retainers. That's why they work with you with low down payments, easy to understand flat fees, and monthly payment plans as well. 479-769-1505, 769-1505, or go to mocklegalsolutions.com. Baseball tonight, it is a Fastball Friday, 6:30. We'll have it here on the radio and the Hit That Line Now app, and you can follow along. Fastball Friday brought to you by QC Kinetix, 479-999-1234, 999-1234.
Phil Elson, Matt Jones coming up next on Halftime.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell.